so pleased to have Lisa Brookman here with us from wisewomenmontreal.com. Lisa, we're talking about something so important.
Yes.
We're talking about readying ourselves mentally, parents and kids,
yes,
for prom, because it's a big one, right? It's
big.
a first sort of test of trust.
Exactly. And it's the first time that kids are kind of, not the first time, but a big time when kids are kind of left alone,
right,
to make decisions without kind of the guidance and support of that at that moment with their parents. And we hope that our kids kind of make some great decisions during this time.
So we have some tips, of course, for parents. The first one is make sure that they have a plan for the evening.
Yes. So plan for the evening is very important. Parents should kind of know what the plan is, where the kids are going, with who. And I believe in kind of check-in times. So, you know, you don't want to constantly be speaking to your child over the phone.
That's what they have cell phones for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you can say, you know, we check in at 11 p.m. and then we check in at 2 p.m. just with a text, it kind of makes the parents feel at ease, and it lets the children know that they have a sense of responsibility as well.
Right. And also a big important one is discussing curfew, because a lot of them are proms, and I remember I had an after prom, and that ended at 8 in the morning the next day.
I remember the same thing.
So that's a lot of negotiations with your parents.
Yes.
How does that work?
Again, curfew, important to know. If you are allowing your child to stay up all night and kind of come back the next morning, then that should be clear. But if you do have a curfew and you want your child home by 3 o'clock in the morning, I think the child has to know what the parents' expectations are also.
Yeah.
And, you know, parents should learn to kind of maybe accommodate some of the desires of their kid that night, and maybe kind of push it a little bit later if that works for them.
Also, be specific about your concerns about safety, because there are a lot of things can happen at prom, right?
And you know what? There's a lot of experimentation.
Yes.
There's drugs, there's alcohol, there's things that, you know, we don't like to think of our child doing. I think opening up the lines of communication, talking about some of the expectations, being honest, and kind of forewarning your child what to expect, to know what's kind of out there. And I think, you know, to kind of gauge your child's trustworthiness. If you have a child who you know is very trustworthy, maybe you kind of open the lines of communication and let them do a little bit more. If not, maybe you pull back the reins a bit and kind of make it a little bit more structured for them.
And let's get to the last point here, which I think is so important. It's give your teens, this is so important, an unconditional sense that you're offering them assistance, no matter what. If they make a mistake, that means that they can call you no matter what.
Exactly. You and I were just talking about that.
I had that with my parents.
And I had that with my parents also. And that is the most important piece. I mean, your child might go and do things that they're not proud of, that you're not proud of. I think having the lines of communication open, allowing them to know that if they should need you for whatever reason, if they're in a bad situation or they've made a bad choice, that they can call you. And you know what? Get them home. The next day you'll have the lecture and the grounding and the consequences, but at that moment they need to know they can count on you.
It really is a better safe than sorry issue.
100%.
To be able to call your parents and say, I'm in a bad spot, I got myself in the bad spot, I need your help to get out of it.
Exactly, and for everyone who's listening, if there's one point that you take away from this, that's it.
Yeah, that they can call you no matter what. Lisa Brookman, thank you so much. And remember, prom is fun, but it's fun when you make it home safe and sound the next day.
Exactly.
All right, again, you can check out all this information at wisewomenmontreal.com.